So I just thought I'd come on for a little chat because I've got stuff to do, people to see, places to be, especially in nature. I'm excited about that. But I'll explain that again. There's a big light coming down. I don't know where that's coming from. Where is that coming from? Anyway, I'll see if anyone comes in. Oh, the tortoise and the hare race, eh? Oh, we like to be a little tortoise, plodding along and watching the world go by, while the hare runs around like a demented bloody Democrat. Hi, Carol. That's what I'll say. Running around, using all its energy up, till it ain't got none. And then the alliance comes along and goes, whoop, past you, 1 year, especially while you fell asleep. So there's 10 in chat. Hi, Mark. It's just a quick chat because I'm doing stuff, got places to be this weekend. So I just thought I'd come on and say, now, you know, we know this shit going on in the so-called pandemic that's going on, lockdown. A lot of us know there's things going on behind the scenes. There's a lot that don't agree with that, and that's fanfare to those people. You know, there's a lot in the so-called spiritual community as well, New Agers, I would say. Hi, Scott, that believe that looking at the part of what I'm about to talk about, only on a small scale, you shouldn't be looking at because it's all deceiving, it's all distracting, and it isn't. I do not go with the flow of that. These fractions got in everywhere, and they got in the New Age and all sorts, just like everyone's talking about. Hi, Paul from Newcastle, just like everyone's talking about at the minute, or it is coming out, because like I said, it's a tortoise in the hare race. Mother Teresa. Some people were going to be very like, what you talking about? Like I said the other day with John of God. Well, John of God isn't a good guy either. Make Earth Great Again. Hi, Shirley. Hi, everybody in chat. These people are being outed. And if people can't see this, you know, some people are going to be really offended by it. But who are the ones who you give your money to certain charities, you know, and you believe they're doing something? And I'm like, they're not though, are they? The UN, the Red Cross. I'm not saying people who work from at the bottom. I'm talking about there's things going on behind the scenes people don't know. They have puppets. And it's a little bit like the whole thing with, I think, of Pudsey Bear on BBC. I think of Feed the World with all the celebrities in it. You know, all them songs from when I was a little girl. Where's all that money gone to? Because apparently they're still starving children all around the world. So, yeah, calling bull crap on all of it. But most of us know this. But the point I'm trying to get across is things are dripping out now like, and people don't want to hear this. And people go, oh, I only want to hear about the spiritual stuff. I don't want to hear, well, it is part of the Great Awakening. You need to see the dark to see the light. As I've been saying, you can't move forward in your own shadows if you're not looking at the shadows of all of us. What's been going on, what we've brought in, what we've manifested, what anyone wants to say, the things that have been hidden away from, you know, humanity, made up as airy fairy, or it's not real, or it's a massive conspiracy theory. Well, it's funny that, because why the world's on lockdown, people are digging, and stuff's starting to come out, like the Tegan woman, Demi Moore. Now, a lot of us knew this. Some people are going to be shocked when they've seen the videos of what they actually said. We saw this in Q a while back. This is why we've known for a while. It's not a shock to us, but just let me play. Let me see. Hi, Aisling. So, you know, people need to get their heads around it. This is why I said, you got to get your mindset ready for what's coming. And these people who are asleep just waking up, we're there to help them. But you can't fob it off and say, it's not spiritual not to look. You shouldn't be looking at it. It's not spiritual. I wouldn't say you're very spiritual if you're not looking at it. It's not about getting into it. People doubt the truth and choose to believe lies. Yes, they do. And it's your choice to look at certain things, but you can't ignore it and say it's not happening. Ignorance is bliss. Well, that's absolutely pathetic. That's what got us here in the first place. So just let me, let's see. So we got this Chrissy Teigen person. Don't know who she is. Don't know what she's been in. But obviously she's a celebrity. Now, let's just have a look at this. She's worried about her family. I'd be worried about my family as well if I was you, love, what you've been doing, because this is how they try and make things normal. Watch this video. It is on, I know a lot of people send me clips from this channel, but obviously I've known about this for a while, but I've not known about her, but it is in the celebrity circles. Not everybody, yeah, famous for nothing. So let's have a look. People think this is not coming out. It is coming out, whether you like it or not. Oh, right, okay. Hang on, just let's get to the bit. She's had tweets removed. She's removed like loads of tweets. Now, if you look at her tweets, it's a bit like, what? I don't know if you can read these. Let me just switch this down. She was on the list, obviously, for Epstein's Island, trying to fob it off now. Getting rid of her tweets, if you can see them. Please go and check this channel out anyway. Deleting all her tweets. Now, as we know, this is why Wayfair and all them lot, they communicate with each other in so many different ways. And because they've had certain communications taken down, they use all sorts. They use TikTok and everything. So, you know what I mean? Well, spying on your kids anyway. Right, so let's listen to this. She's worried about her family. You weren't worried about the kids though, were you?
I would eat a human. If you were at a very fancy restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat.
No. I think the only way
you wouldn't try a tiny bite?
No.
Really?
Absolutely not.
So terrible.
If you're in a really, really fancy restaurant, you wouldn't, and you were going to try a tiny piece of meat, human meat, you wouldn't. No, wouldn't. You wouldn't, not just a tiny little bit. Also, Katy Perry said that on a radio station ages ago in France or somewhere, that she'd eaten human meat, because they do, if you don't know, in America, and you can Google it unless they took it down, they did have a cannibal restaurant. It's to normalise it to everyone. So if anyone, you know, people want to go, stop taking your focus off something. I've got my focus on the bigger picture and what we're bringing in, but you also have to see the dark. This is how we get rid of these evil things exposed. Yeah, and all the exposure is coming out. You can see it all over. When people say there's nothing happening, it's like, how asleep are you? Literally, how asleep are you? Yeah, there's people that don't look at the news. I don't, but you've seen bits come out. We know it's coming out. We know it's coming out. So, just to say, there's that video. Go and check the channel out, because I know, I don't know if he's in here right now. Are you in here? Yeah, Scott Ferguson's always posted this channel to me. Thank you. This was off my dad, actually. Alice Down the Rabbit Hole. Just make sure. Alice Down the Rabbit Hole. And we all know cues about Alice in Wonderland. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Then there's this. Most of us know this, but this is saying to the people who are new, who might be just waking up, the people that are like, oh, what's she talking about, blah, 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 blah. It is coming out. We're in lockdown for a reason. The child trafficking is getting stopped. Why we're in lockdown worldwide? They're going in areas, getting these pedos. They're not, and traffickers, they're not putting this on the news because they don't want you to know, but if you're looking in the right places, we know it's going down. Even in the UK, you want to look, I'll show you want to look at it in a minute. Right, so this is on Twitter, and this is Adrian Norman, and this is Craig Sawyer. If you don't know who Craig Sawyer is, a Navy SEAL who they were going on about human trafficking ages ago. People didn't believe him, because people don't want to believe, because they don't want to see what's really going on.
He's 150 cannot.
No, it's not nice, but
Child sex trafficking and organized crime in general cannot prevail at the level that it does without a lot of top cover.
That's why it's being stopped. This is why
States they know.
all the haters out there, I'm going to say this with a full open heart, and I don't know if anyone's been having weird things lately, but last night I couldn't breathe properly. It wasn't breath, it was in the heart, and I had to lie on the phone. I was like, oh my God, it's that thing I had 2 years ago, when it's like, I'll tell you right now. all the Trump haters are going to be feeling ashamed of themselves that they believed MSM, what this man is going for. Doesn't matter what was said in the past. It's about the now of these children, because the Q thing boils down to, there's a lot of things involved in it, don't get me wrong, but one of the biggest things they were going for is the abuse, human rights abuse, and of the children and the sex trafficking. So all them people, I don't care who you are, spiritual, new agers, whatever you call yourself, if that's what you think because you can't see properly the bigger picture of what's going on, and you think it doesn't matter, oh, it does matter. Because they are putting an end to child trafficking. You have to see the evil that's going on to want to know what timeline we're going on. Everyone's going on about timelines, but think about it. You can't go on, hop on another time, or also think you can go on another timeline, thinking you can get away from everything, because you could be perceived going into another timeline, which isn't actually the timeline. It could be the New World Order timeline, which they wanted us on. They wanted us on that disgusting satanic timeline. And I'm just saying, these people, mark my words, are going to feel ashamed of how they've let MSM and celebrities control them and program them, and not even trying to look into things themselves because they're too lazy to do it. And that's not being horrible, because I'm finding it beautiful. I'm seeing so many people scratch their heads at the minute and begin to wake up, and that is what I love watching. When we say we're watching, like the watchers, we're watching this happen, and it is a fact. No one out there can say it's not a fact, nothing's happening, because that's what most people say. It is a fact, because if you look, people are posting everywhere, Twitter everywhere, of the Tegan lady, different things. Doesn't even matter if you're into Q or Trump. That doesn't even matter. I'm just saying, mark my words, you will know what this man's been doing for humanity. So that's not even in there. If there's new people on the channel who don't like Trump, or they're not into Q, or they say it's a psyop, whatever. The fact is, if you're actually looking, because you can't get away from any of this at the minute. People who say, I'm not looking into it, you might not be looking into it, but you will be hearing things. You will be hearing people talk. You can't get away from it if you're looking on your phone and you're not really looking at the news, because I don't watch TV. I don't scroll on my phone for the news, but it will pop up somewhere and I'll see it, and it's all over Facebook. And the only reason I go on Facebook is to pump out all the stuff that people don't like, so they can see it, because they're going to start seeing it. This is why I've entitled this The Tortoise and the Hare. The tortoise went slowly, slowly. The hare ran around like a lunatic, like these deep state cabal, getting rid of all the energy and all the last bits of ammo. Well, like the tortoises, I've said before, it's a drip effect to the sleeping. They can't have all the information thrown at them. They've got to learn slowly, slowly as it comes in, so it's not a massive shock. Now, a lot of people know, and I can see friends on my Facebook who don't like Trump, this, that, and they think it's a conspiracy theory, but they're scratching their heads, and they do know, oh, there's something going on, even if they're not believing, like, what you saying, Oprah Winfrey's involved, at least it's still going in. It's not like when it does come out properly, which it will, because it's coming slowly, slowly, more and more, to get it into your headset, that they're going to be like, oh, well, I did hear about that. It wasn't like it was a complete and utter shock. Even though it's shocking, it is still going to be shocking, but it's not going to be as shocking. Like, I knew a few years ago, so none of this coming out now, like people say there's nothing new under the sun, is shocking. But there is a difference when people say there's nothing new under the sun. Oh, yes, there is. Because this time it stops. Because the world is waking up. So if the world's waking up, it stops. This will be the end of child trafficking and all the shit that goes along with it, because we say no, no more. That's why people wearing the masks, it's a silent thing. It's a bow down to the MSM, bow down to the deep state. They're all laughing at you. This is why some shops are saying now, it's your own choice whether you wear a mask or not. And yes, it is. And at the end of the day, why be putting in a law or whatever they're putting in, because I don't really take any notice, on the 24th or whenever it is this month, you've got to wear a mask in a shop, but the people behind the tills, the shop people, don't have to wear a mask. What's that all about? And also, why then? Why not now? Why are we waiting a week or whatever it is? That's even waking people up, because they're like, hang on a minute, why wait then? And why is it the people in the shop who work there don't have to wear a mask? That's lunacy. Absolute lunacy. So I can't, I'm off somewhere. So just going to play this one.
What's going on? Some of them benefiting directly, financially from it. We're not being told about it. We're not being warned about it.
Yeah, the evil there is
that would
real.
want to witness a child sacrifice would have to first go to a party where they would be made to have sex with a child before they're going to see the next level of depravity. You know, to see what people will do to kids, it will break your heart because it's there's no one more precious and innocent than a child.
The reason why they do it to children is to blackmail whoever they've got in, a politician or, you know, from way back, that ministry, not Trump, celebrities, because if they're getting you in a position on video with an adult, but with a child of a certain, well, any children, I won't even say of a certain age, a child, you're blackmailed for life. You can't do jack shit, basically, because they were filming in Epstein's Island. Maxwell was the puppet master of Epstein. People thought, oh, when that came out, oh yeah, well, nothing really happened. No, well, it will do. There's 33 and 7. That is hilarious. Christ consciousness number 7. What want to say? My number's number 7. And I went shopping today, and I just have to put this out there because I had to laugh, and we had to queue up to go to the line, and then I got told to go to aisle 7. I was like, oh, there's my aisle, number 7. Number 7. Just wanted to put that out there.
A lot of the apps that our children use to chat back and forth on
Yeah, they do,
are
yeah.
also used by the child predators.
Yeah.
Like Snapchat, TikTok are some of the top apps that are being utilized for trafficking. So
Snapchat and TikTok are the ones being utilised for trafficking. I said this is how they communicate. I don't have things like that on my phone because everyone goes, oh yeah, it's fun. TikTok, what? Showing everyone what you think, like what? Snapchat, yeah, well, if you knew what lay behind it, you wouldn't be on it. So I suggest if you've got kids, get them off it. Get them off it. This is where people are going to have a breakdown. It's so infiltrated everywhere else. It's like the whole thing with Wayfair. People are finding so much out. It's out there. It's out there. Like I said, you can't be asleep to this shit because everyone's talking about it. And even if they don't believe it, they're still talking about it, which is still waking people up. Because if they were really asleep before, they must be thinking about something, whether they believe it or not, because they're talking about it. And you can't get away from it anywhere. People are like, sick of all this on Facebook, sick of it on here, sick of it. Yeah, because that's what's going on. So when people sit there going, it's not what's going on. Well, it is what's going on, and it is happening, and we will win this. And at the end of the day, it's not to be too focused on it, as I keep saying. I'm happy. I think Earth is a beautiful place, and there's beautiful things coming in with the bigger picture when we get rid of all this, which, if you think about it, this virus shit ain't going to be going on for that much longer. And I tell you what, even if it does a little bit, it won't be going on when Trump gets in yet again, because that's when the proper shit will drop. You've got to get people used to what's about to come out before it actually comes out properly, when they're saying nothing's happening, shitloads is happening. I'm on one.
for trafficking, because a predator will sit back and pretend to be another child. The fact that it's a $38 billion a year industry inside the United States. Human trafficking
This is worldwide.
globally is a $150 billion a year enterprise.
I said, kids are the biggest currency.
I would say it goes all the way to the very top. If you dig into even some former presidents and their organizations,
Presidents.
some people are saying as many as 80% of the children being trafficked for sex in the United States right now came from the CPS system.
Of course. Haiti.
If we can ignite
Clinton's.
a wildfire of awareness and a culture of protection
win.
like that, we can defeat child trafficking.
We are defeating it. This is what's the whole thing about. I don't care what anyone says. The whole thing about lockdown is people don't realise what's really going on behind that. When they were going, that side were going to bring it in, the alliance went under the lockdown and are using it to benefit going in and arresting people. Also in Leicester, in the UK as well, when you get lockdowns. I'm going to show you that as well. Something else. So, the lovely lady off 3D to 5D consciousness, she's done a great video, says it all there about Mother Teresa and why they do the drip drip effect. Well, we know this, and this is why I say, you know, do you get much reaction from the Facebook? Yeah, Mark, I get funnily enough, I used to get people going, "Why are you putting this on? Why are you putting this on?" Especially when they've had a drink on Friday night, and arguing and arguing. Now, a lot of these people who got a bit argumentative have shut up, and I've heard on the grapevine that they've been looking. So even if they still don't believe it, they're looking. It's triggering people, but I don't give a toss. The most place I'll throw my stuff up is Facebook, because I don't go on Facebook and use it for the thing that everyone uses it for, like, oh, look at me in my life. I was going to come off it and thought, no, I'm going to use it to post. If it triggers people, it has been censored. I know it has, because not a lot of people see it, but I don't care. That's what I use it for. And I see other people in my area that are waking up to, and they're doing the same thing. So this is a thing of like, it's not going nowhere. People might be getting sick of it, but that's how you can tell something's going on. So let me just nip over to the lovely, I can't remember her name. 3D to 5D consciousness. You may have watched the one that she's done recently, but it says it all there. There's some in it that some people won't resonate with, but don't poo-hoo a video just because there's certain bits you don't resonate with, because she does go on about the galactics, but I'm into all that anyway. But if you don't believe in that, you don't have to resonate with that bit. Just listen to what she's saying about Israel, Mother Teresa, and all that sort of stuff. So let's go over. Just listen to a little bit. She's putting some truth out there, you know what I mean? Loads of us are. I just don't go in depth in it.
Beautiful divine awakening souls. This is Nala Nguyen. Welcome to
Nala Nguyen.
5D consciousness. This channel is about helping you to expand your consciousness, getting you ready to become your 5D galactic being, and as well as a spot for galactic news. If you're new to this broadcast, a big welcome. If you're a returning viewer, subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support and attention. I'm a little bit behind schedule for this week in my broadcasting, so I'd like to explain why that is. I'm working on something very special for my audience. I have a big surprise coming up that I want to share with you. It's taking me quite a bit of time to put it together.
No.
It's a lot of long hours
Going out in
hard work,
nature.
but it's well worth it. So this is the reason why I'm a little bit behind schedule in my normal broadcasting schedule. I usually like to publish once a week. Reach out to me to let's dive into the talking points. I have a lot of subjects I would like to cover for you. There's a few minor subjects I want to cover, and then we're going to dive into the major talking points. Let's dive into talking about Kelly Preston, her death. Now, in my other broadcast...
Now, John Travolta's wife apparently has died. A lot of people say he's gay. He's like, there's a death. Then there's that woman who I don't know if she was off Glee that apparently drowned saving her son, something else. They're all dodgy to me. It's all dodgy. Whether it's from the other side or that side, or shutting someone up or something. That's that thing starting again, you know, deaths. But I mean, what they report in the news, I'll never believe anyway. So, just saying. Just saying.
I've already gave the audience a heads up that there's going to be many celebrities that's going to be dropping dead.
I've said this, we've all said this. There's going to be people, I've said this the other week, celebrities that all of a sudden have dropped dead, had an accident, or suicided themselves. If it's off the news, whatever they're saying, it can be a complete different story. We get it over here as well because of all the shit that's coming out. They're scared. Actually, just before I show you this, here's another one of that Chrissy Teigen woman, whoever the frig she is. And is it her husband? They're scared, and I'll show you the proof. There she is.
Is this the best or the worst? Public place, you did it. Is this the best or the worst? What did you do?
The best.
Okay, the best. Probably the Obama thing.
The Obama thing.
What's the, oh God.
Oh God.
John?
What
is your wife talking about?
I don't know.
We heard
We're not-
in there.
Chrissy, get back in. What happened?
We're not going to discuss
We're not
that.
going to discuss it?
We're not. We're not.
Oh my God. Secret Service. Come here, jump back in.
Hi.
Look at John. Look at, I don't.
Hi.
We're not talking about it. That's the truth.
That is a
We're not
awesome
talking about the
answer.
Obama
Not the White
thing.
House.
Not the,
It was
It was not at the White House.
100% not the White House. I promise.
He was not elected yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we're moving on.
Sorry. I'm in trouble now. Public place, you did it.
Oh yeah, you're in trouble. Can you explain the Obama thing to us and tell us why John Legend is so terrified? Let's see what some people have put underneath. I wonder if it was when they ordered in the 65k of hot dogs, because we all know what the hot dogs was, and they weren't hot dogs, people. They were boys, little kids. Yeah, and I don't know if people have seen this. We all seen this on cue, and then they dress like this at the party. John Legend, whatever his name is, dressed like that, and she dressed like that. While Obama dressed like, we've seen this. Some people might not have done that. That's Obama there. That's Obama. With the God thing going on, you know, a bit like the devil going on there. But yeah, just saying, see all this shit's coming out and people are just like, there's nothing going on, there's nothing going on. It's like, yeah, well, okay. Okay, I do believe you, I don't believe you, it's all going on. Yeah, about to tell Leicester to stay in. Well, of what this lady's saying, I wouldn't be surprised if it's locked down in that area because of their pedo arrests. That's all I'm saying. She said it on air as well.
Due to
More things going on behind the
causes,
scenes.
which they are not natural causes. Their death will be reported to be cancer, accidental, suicide by natural cause. It's because they've made a plea agreement. They made a deal with the alliance that they're going to be executed quietly. It's called the Rommel death. And then their legacy, their reputation, their name will not be dragged down the mud and through all this mess when this goes, mainstream with all the pedophilia and human trafficking and adrenochrome. So a lot of the celebrities will take the quiet street and be executed quietly. Meanwhile, their legacy is preserved in the media. This is also to protect their family too. Obviously, they have children and all this other familiar ties that they need to protect their reputation.
Because don't forget,
and have their family
some of these people
be affected by their decision and what they did with.
Like she's saying, some of these people have families, it's not their fault, and it's just the decisions that their parents made or whatever, and it could set them free as well. So when you look at it, it's not coming from one perspective of, oh, they're this, they're that, and this. Oh, God, there's so many things going on. Yeah, John Legend, I mean, was his face said it. Oh, and people say there isn't stuff going on, and it's all a conspiracy theory. It's like, really, you have to look at the people's faces. All that's going on with the celebrities right now. It's like, people, you need to wake the F up. Do you know what I mean? That's said in a loving way, not it's because we want, but I mean, it's happening anyway, because it's coming out, and it is going to come out, and you are going to, and they are going to see it slap bang in the face. But the drip effect at the minute is for a reason, to slowly wake people up, as I've kept saying. And it's clearly happening. You can see it all over.
Being involved with the Illuminati, all that stuff. So Kelly Preston is a example that the Rommel death is happening with these celebrities, because out of nowhere she's now dead of breast cancer supposedly, and yet none of her friends
Always the
know
same
that she had
story.
breast cancer. She was all healthy, she's healthy. She's vibrant, she's healthy, but now they've just announced that she's dead.
That's what they said with John McCain.
Like that. So
Died
this
of
is just to
cancer.
give you
No, he didn't.
confirmation that they're being executed. The Rommel death is happening. So watch out for more of these celebrities' death. More
Just be
prominent,
like,
more public figures are going to be dying either by cancer, accident, suicide. These are the three very common storyline that they'll feed into the mainstream
Same
media
storylines
for the
they always
people who are
feed.
still unawakened and uninformed, and they don't do their own
keep an
research.
eye on it.
This is just a cover-up, okay? Now move on to the next talking point. In the Philippines, one of the major network TV program station, ABS-CBN, has been declined for renewing their TV license. So they're now permanently taken off the air. So that means no more brainwashing and mind
So will
control
CNN, so will
for the
ours.
Filipinos in that area, in that country. This is a big celebration because, whenever you have a mainstream media that's
Yeah.
not allowed to continue its propaganda, publishing lies, and spreading more lies, dropping down the collective frequency, this is a big victory for us and the human collective consciousness. Okay, guys? So I want you guys to spread that news and celebrate for
Hi.
those people in that collective in that area. Now, in the last few broadcasts, I was covering Huawei being
Huawei.
targeted and being put on notice that the U.S. is not allowing their infrastructure to be built, not allowing their services.
I think
to
that was
be
Trump's daughter as
placed
well.
In America,
Who?
UK now has followed suit, and I predicted
Whoop, whoop,
many.
whoop.
Like I said in my other broadcast,
Huawei's
I predict
5G.
many other countries are going to be following the U.S.'s lead because, like I said to you, this is the main reason
We follow
why
America
I cover
because
U.S.
America, Trump, I'll say, settles free, setting a lot of places free, and we follow suit because it's all from the cabal. People can laugh, people can snigger, people just don't understand what's going on.
Events because U.S. are leading the change on the planet right now. So whenever something happens in the U.S.,
People in the spiritual realms, we go on about, the times of Atlantis. Well, someone was saying the other day Atlantis was the UK and it fell, way back. But what would be the new Atlantis now of how it was meant to be before they got greedy with the tech and everything, because that's what I believed happened. And then they wanted to use people as slaves, would be America right now, And people are going to know that when the last Independence Day they just had in America is freedom for the world. And you will be seeing that.
most likely other countries are going to follow suit and they're going to implement the changes in their country.
Watch
So
what happens in America, it
Huawei
happens
is
here.
one of those things
So
that, like I said,
follow
this is a
suit.
big victory for us as well because Huawei is a major deep state company. If you want
Yeah, and it's coming from over there.
see the deep state manifest in
Wasn't
reality,
Russia,
in the
it was
physical,
China.
Huawei and the Chinese Communist Party would be that physical manifestation of the Illuminati, of the dark energy.
Exactly. The emails were going to China of Hillary Clinton, blaming it on Russia. Putin's helping Trump as well. We've got an alliance all the way around the world. It's China, China, China. China, China, China.
Physical. Okay. Now, TikTok is another company that's on the U.S.'s notice. They are considering putting a ban, or if they have not already placed a ban on TikTok, which means that all U.S. users are now allowed to have TikTok on their phones anymore, because TikTok has been deemed by the U.S. intelligence agency to be an app that is spying on their users and also feeding propaganda. So U.S. has already put them on notice, and I think a lot of companies, a lot of organizations in
That's why I said you're going to see
US
organisations
have already
falling in
warned
businesses
their
and certain
employees
things.
to remove TikTok.
She also talks about the Gazaran, I can never say it, Gazana, how it is coming into effect and people are saying certain things. It's not going to come in boom, like people go, how can they do that? It's the structure. We never said it was going to come in fast. That has to come in drippy, as she will explain as well, and makes more sense because, the system would fall if it just went overnight. It's not going to happen like that.
From their devices and all these major changes happen. TikToks on your devices, that we are winning, okay? We are winning this war. The Vatican has been dismantled.
Yeah.
UK monarchy is also being dismantled.
Yeah.
Staff's being laid off. So
Yeah.
this is more proof that the Illuminati infrastructure is being
It's in front of your
decimated.
face.
Okay? Big hoo-ha. Now, moving on to more positive news. Jasara. I forgot to mention this topic in the last broadcast, so
Slowly.
let's dive into Jasara. Jasara has been quietly implemented on the planet. I've been covering it extensively, and whenever there's major press releases, I announce it on this broadcast just to let you know that it's happening. And what the Galactic Federation wants to do is they don't want to do a hard reset from one financial system to the next financial system. Nothing in nature, when it comes to changing, nothing in nature makes it like a complete flip like that. Everything is done in slow progression. It's got to be slow and it needs to be eased into the collective consciousness. So
Yeah.
how it's being implemented.
Eased into the collective consciousness. She's talking about that, but that's also with everything that's going on. It has to be eased. It can't just be shoved in front of your face. You know what happens when you get all the information? That's why it's being eased in with the sleeping or the people that are beginning to wake up now. You know, some people call it woke. It's not woke, it's an awakening. Woke is the other side. But yeah, it has to be eased.
It's being transitioned into, letting people have the corona relief packages. This is the introduction to UBI, okay? Getting people used to getting the corona relief packages, and then eventually down the road when corona is no longer in the collective consciousness, and
Which
now
it won't
it's
be,
already
because it will be going.
over, then people now are used to already having that government assistance, government bonus money, extra money, that it'll become a permanent income, which is going to be transitioned to UBI. So Canada is hoping that this, corona emergency relief benefit is going to transition to a permanent UBI. South Africa has just announced that they're going to be implementing permanent UBI for its citizens from the ages of 18 to 59. In
We're all getting on it.
Australia, the bank CBA bank was down for a little bit, and then here's this woman sharing her conversation that her mortgage was wiped out. So that goes to show you it's being implemented regionally. It's what's happening is that in order for JSR to have a global effect, it's actually being rolled out in
Makes more sense.
certain regions, small regions at a time, certain banks at a time. It's not going to be a whole mass. It's not a mass rollout, because if you do a mass rollout and turn off all the banks and cut off all the banks and do all this infrastructure change, it's too much chaos, too much confusion, and that's the last thing that the alliance wants and the Galactic Federation wants. They want this to be as smooth and as easy as possible into transitioning into the new financial system.
It's a transition.
Okay, so
it's a transitioning. This is what we're doing within ourselves as well. It's a transition for transformation. A transition doesn't just go like that. A transition comes in slowly. You're getting used to it. With us within our bodies, it's getting used to the energies and this, that, and the other. A transition isn't a bang straight away. Like she said, if all the banks fell, yes, it would be a problem. It's a transition. And that is a banking term thing anyway. But it's a transition within us as well. It has to be just done a little bit, transitioning into it. Not slap bang thrown into it. Some of us have been, but the rest of the consciousness that's waking up is a transition. They're transitioning into something now high violet. So totally makes sense. Totally makes sense.
you're going to hear a certain region, their banks is going to be cut off for a week.
Like I said, the butterfly, we all talk about the caterpillar to the butterfly. That transitions in the chrysalis, but it doesn't go in the chrysalis and come out the day after. Do you know what I mean? It's a process, and then it comes out.
Here I was
Hi,
telling
Danielle.
you guys and preparing you guys for the bank closures to be 2 weeks, but it looks like they.
Thank you. I don't know who's watched me from the beginning. There's a lot of people that used to watch me ages ago when I didn't used to talk about Q and stuff, and they've called me and ridiculed me and thought I was this, that, and the other. And I hope they're watching now and realising that, because especially there was a lot of Americans as well, have realised what I was actually saying is happening. I doubt they'd come on and say hi, but, I'm glad people are sort of recognising that. So thank you, Daniel.
have got things pretty under control. So now the banks are only going to be closing for 1 week instead of 2 weeks. They're only going to be closing for 1 week.
I talk about
1
everything.
week without access
out
to
there
your
or
monies
not
in the
out
bank,
there.
it's not a huge issue for most people. So that's why I said in my earlier broadcast just to take out a bunch of cash, have it aside. So if banks are going down for a week,
She's
or
talking
two,
about cash.
you still have
If
your
banks
cash.
did go down, said they're going to go down for a week. So if they do, just make sure you've got some cash out. They're going to go back up again. She talks about Mother Teresa. So I'm not going to stay on because I go and check this video out, and that was she talks about Mother Teresa. She shows you a video of the Indian people talking about her and how disgusting it is that they put her up there. This is what they do with celebrities, and they make people into celebrities when really behind the scenes, like the Pope, that ain't what's going on. So that was the lovely Nala off. If you've not been to this channel, 3D to 5D consciousness. Don't know if anyone can put it in chat, but it's 3D to 5D consciousness. She's brilliant. She talks about Q. She's on it. She's spiritual. She's on the galactics and all that. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you don't believe in all the galactic sort of stuff. You can still listen to her channel because she's bringing a lot of the truth of what we're all talking about. I actually do believe in stuff like that because there's weird stuff going on. Like I said, I don't know if anyone's been having some weird sort of things this week, because like I said last night, I felt like I couldn't breathe. It's not that I couldn't breathe, I just had a chest, it felt like my heart, like, can't explain it. I had it 2 years ago when someone said it could have been a heart chakra opening then, or any more energies coming into the heart. It was just really weird. It lasted about 20 minutes and I had to lie on the floor, and it wasn't really because I couldn't breathe, because I could. It was just this really weird, like someone had a rope and they were it was weird. It was weird. It was weird. Now my fingers are tingling. Don't know if anyone's been getting that, but it's funny because I listened to Magenta Pixie yesterday and she had the lovely Amente that I've been talking to behind the scenes a little bit. And she actually mentioned yesterday about that, and I thought, oh my God, that's what was going through yesterday. Then after that, I went and saw that, and she said that, and I was syncing up with what she said there, and I was like, I even said to my fella, I think it's something to do with, like, you would normally think it was like a medical condition, or go, oh, get it checked out, but I mean, I don't go to doctors, I don't have them sort of things, and I was thinking, no, we always think that, and then go and get something for something, when I believe it's sort of me, myself, and I believe it's energies going about that are going about. Yeah, boxing 24/7. So that was really great as well. So like I said, there's so many people who want to ignore stuff. They want to Black Mirror's just commented on my channel before. They've got a channel as well. Hi Dolly, I'm wearing a metallic silver version of your V mask out and about. Scares the shit out of people. I know. Oh, where is it? You say wear a mask, get your Batman masks on. I've got my V for Vendetta somewhere. Actually, where is it? Oh, I've got my mask. I've got my mask ready. Oh yes. I might just cut it out there, but I could breathe out of there, stick 2 holes up there. Oh yeah. This will be over. We haven't got long. Yeah, well, Guy Fawkes had the right idea, didn't he? So I'm just saying again, these people have a wonderful holiday. Love it. Yeah, I'm having a break this weekend. I can't wait. You'll probably see me at weekend. If I can get some, if my phone works, I'll show you. But yeah, I just want to say to all these people who want to be ignorant, they don't want to know, they don't. It's happening. Whether you like it or not, it is happening, because it's all people are talking about, and all this stuff with the celebrities is actually being shown on camera. One more just before I go. Demi Moore. Now, I knew about this. A lot of us did. But this is what I mean when people start seeing this, like, all them mad conspiracy theories, actually, they're not mad, are they? They're actually, what is going on? Yeah, because like Q said ages ago, we've got everything. They've got all the shit on the people, and now it's coming out, and that's why you will hear certain celebrities dying, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Vincent Vendetta, exactly. So, let's see. It's like this. If they told you to wear a red nose, some people would bloody wear it, wouldn't they? Because they do everything that the TV tells them to do. So, let me see. Yeah, here it is. Are you ready for this? Some people have seen this ages ago. Some people might not. And I'm going to show you, because this is what's going about.
Very nice. Very good.
They're already wearing the ankle bracelets, aren't they? There's Demi Moore. This is sick, by the way. This young lad. This is not normal. How old is this kid?
Okay, one more time.
But isn't it normal giving someone a birthday kiss? She's sick. Celebrities, not all of them.
I don't know. Maybe just because I love them all and I hope they all love me. We do love them. And I love them.
Look, it's not normal. Long live Foster.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because he's one of my most favorite people. He's one of my most favorite people. For about 3 weeks. And
She looks drugged up.
he's been terrific. She's the greatest. We're gonna get married, by the way. Don't let her husband find out. I can't wait.
So, excuse me, 45 in the house, 45th president's in the house. It's all coming out. Yeah, she looks high on something. High on adrenochrome, probably. It's all coming out. We knew this ages ago. I've seen that a bit. I think Q put it out a while back. So this is why I say, when people say, no, Q's this, Q's this, go and take your head and go and stick it in the ground. But like I said, it doesn't really matter what you believe in, because the fact is, it's all coming out. A week later, he drowned in her pool. Oh, that kid drowned. Really? See what I mean? It's all coming out. So when people not like it, these videos are going to come out. They've got the videos. They've got the shit on everybody. So if you was ever a part of all this stuff that's been going on, adrenochrome, trafficking children, be afraid, very afraid, because they're coming for you. That's what they're doing in lockdown. Lockdown's a cover for the alliance, as in that side, the Illuminati wanted to put the pandemic out, right? So they put it out, but the alliance went under it, using it. They saw you know, an opening to go under the virus, to use the lockdown, so people couldn't, where we go one, we go out. Certain people couldn't move about a lot right at the beginning. We've got more movement now, because this is going to go away, by the way. It's not going to be, some people going, it's going into next year. No, it isn't. Especially when we get to November, because boom, boom, boom. The world is watching, and that's what I'm saying. The fact is, it's all coming. Yeah, where we go one, we go all. You know? So all the truthing communities out there, because there's lots of them, it's happening. You know, we're all on the same page with it, but there's some that still think it's a psyop because they don't want to believe. Like I said, there's no getting away from it. It's clearly coming out in front of your face, but it's a slowly transmission stage before it comes out properly, so people are a bit more like, oh yeah, well, I've heard people saying it, and I did hear this, you know, so-called rumour that Hillary did this with Hoomer, and it isn't very nice, and it isn't like something out of a horror movie. Yes, it is, but at least you got that in your head a bit. You don't have to go and watch the frigging video. It'll be your choice to go and watch it or not. Personally, I wouldn't, because I've heard bits of it, and it'll make you sick. There will be people who want to go and watch it because they have to see something to believe it. You don't have to. But at the end of the day, it is happening. These people are getting eradicated off the earth. Some are going to prison for life. Some are that evil. They're not being about anymore. And this is what I said. This is what we've been saying. This is why people like me, Roxanne, the Globalist Denier, and everyone on her channel, people that I know in the YouTube community, Magenta Pixie, Jen, loads of people talk about at Low Rise now, loads of people out there, the Q community, people that so-called conspiracy theories have been talking about this, because it all ends, it's about the kids, basically. There is a lot of other stuff with it and there's marvellous stuff coming for us all when this gets rid of, which it is. But the main biggest thing was, we stood up and said something and stayed on this ride, and I come in here, I know I'm not in depth with it all, but I've done the research myself. There's good channels out there, because I don't edit and put stuff up. But what I'm trying to say is, we're not being silent, because we know what the thing was, and we knew the currency of these elites and people that have been also blackmailed into it is the children, and we're not standing for it no more. Yes, it's an ancient frigging thing that's gone on with bloodlines, but we're not having it. We're taking Earth back. We're taking everything that was ours back. We're taking our rightful powers, symbols, energy, whatever you want to say. Our rightful history, which I believe is under the Vatican. Some people can laugh, but I think there's a lot of stuff there kept away from us, the people, because they wanted all the knowledge and all the power, and they wanted humanity sleeping. And I will say to one thing, I've been watching The Order on Netflix. Yes, I know what Netflix is out, but they shove it all in your face now. The Order, and I've just been watching the second series, and it's about an order of like a magical school. It's got werewolves in it and this, that, and the other, and I love all that stuff anyway. But you can clearly see what the order's about. And the second series is brilliant because it goes on about a teacher who's going on about conspiracy theories. They mention a drink called the Julian Assange, and they go, what have you called it the Julian Assange for? And the woman goes, because he outstayed his welcome in the embassy. And I thought, pfft, and it's got loads in it. They even mention the 1%. It's the 1% that they're blaming us, but it's the 1% who control. We know who the 1% are. It's Illuminati. It's those families. That The Order is very telling when you go and watch it, and especially the second series of The Order. The Order, basically there they are secret societies, and that the werewolves are the Saint, I don't know if it's Saint Christopher or something, knights. It's not like the Knights Templars and all that. And I believe there were like King Arthur's knights, and then there was Knight Templars that tried to get in, and they didn't want for humanity. So all them war inside of bloody secret societies, whatever you want to call them, Freemasons going about Freemasons, whatever. It's all the same to me. But The Order was quite good if you're into that stuff, and you can see, because I see a lot of things in a film. It's hard to not watch film and see what's in it, but it did make me laugh. I was like, And even the part I was watching last night, they did something, and they summoned a demon. Now, put this into perspective. And when they summoned this demon and something happened, they had a red eye on one of their eyes. You know, like the Pope and that have been doing things that have probably had entities attached to them because they've been doing things with kids. It was very telling, but they're trying to do it in a story of, you don't think it's real because they're talking about werewolves and the way they've done it with witches and that. Yeah, satanic, yeah, it's like that. So you don't, normal people watching it, the normies, would just go, oh yeah, it's just a film, one of them sort of like, fantasy films. It's like, no, it's not really, if you actually are awake to what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to go because I've got stuff to do, places to go, people to meet, places to be in nature. I'll probably tell you about that, or you might see me over the weekend, I'm not sure. So I just wanted to throw that out there, to the people who are just like, it's not happening. Well, it clearly is happening. But even though all this dark is dark, there is light and there is good things coming, and we still stay on a positive vibe because, it still puts me in a positive vibe just to see everybody waking up and where we can go with this. You've just not got to let those lower negative vibrations and energies and people bring you down. And I also found something very funny the other day for people out there who are always shouting this out. I don't mean people in chat. I just mean I've seen things written somewhere sometimes, and I thought, yeah, that makes sense. About virtue signalling, when people are like, virtue signalling, saying you love or hate something to show off what a virtuous person you are instead of actually trying to fix a problem. Notice that the other week with Peter, someone who puts comments somewhere, and it's like, yeah, instead of putting that, go and fix yourself. Anyway, just talking to myself there. Thank you, much gratitude and many blessings, Ollie. Love and everyone. I don't mean people in chat, by the way. But yeah, so where we go one week war, it is coming out, it is happening, but it's how we deal with it. It's not about shouting and screaming and going on. It's about, right, so, there's going to be new things coming in where these kids are going to have to be treated. All this stuff that's going to come in for the future. But like I said, people who say it's not true, don't want to think it's all a conspiracy, but just the people who don't want to be woken up to the fact that where we've actually been living all this time and what's been going on under the surface, and that's literally under the surface in these tunnels, underground places, Antarctica, whatever. It's all out there. But it doesn't mean that we're all in doom and gloom, and it doesn't mean that things are not changing. It doesn't mean that we can't have a bright new future. We are going to have a bright new future because it's the takedown of this and the child trafficking, and that's all I want to say. So I'll see you all soon. Have a great weekend coming up, whether the weather's sunny or not, and where we go one week war. And I'll see you very soon. And thanks for people who watching and believing it, because I think I got 1,000 views the other day on one of my Q videos, even though they are suppressing it, and even though, whatever. So yes, thank you all for coming in, and I shall see you later. Bye.